In this lesson, we're gonna look at the insides of a product feed. And creating a product feed is pretty technical. So you'll probably use a tool and you don't really have to know what's going on in the backend. But the goal of this lesson is to actually give you a peek under the hood, to show you what's inside and what it actually looks like. And this will help you to troubleshoot and fix problems that you might run into over the next couple of lessons. So your feed will look different and you'll probably use a more automated way of doing things, but just bear with me. It will really be helpful, as I said, to fix problems when you run into them. So here I have a Google Sheet, which is actually one of the easiest ways to submit a product feed to Google Merchant Center. It's a template that Merchant Center gives you, and it actually has like a lot of different columns with all of the product information. So I'm gonna skip to the next tab, which actually shows you the different parts. It's color coded, so the green ones means that it's required for all items. If it's blue, it's required for some categories, and if it's red, orange, it's recommended, but you don't have to supply it. So here it's ID, it's your product ID in your backend or your SKU. Pretty straightforward. Product title, description. This is just all the information from your backend that's being pushed into, that's going to be pushed into Merchant Center. Condition, price, availability, link to your product, image link, and then here's where it gets fun. So GTIN, which is the global trade number, MPN, which is the manufacturer part number, brand, and identifier exists. So these four are closely related. Oops. And they're what is called product identifiers. So if you have a unique product that you created and which nobody else is selling, you won't have this. But if you're selling products that somebody else manufactured or is distributing or other people are selling, you will have to fill in values for these fields. So GTIN, it's basically a product number. So it's also sometimes called GTIN, EN, UPC, CHAN, ISBN for books. And it looks like this one. So it's a long string of numbers, and you usually get it from your manufacturer or distributor or a wholesaler. You get it from them. Your MPN, it's a pretty similar one, and you also get it from your manufacturer. And then your brand, which is simply the brand of the product that you're selling. And Google actually requires for these that you submit 2 out of 3 values. So usually that means the GTIN and the brand, or the MPN and the brand. The identifier exists. It's mainly a value to indicate to Google, okay, this is an item which already exists. There's existing product identifiers for this. So usually you set it to true. If you set it to false, then you can't have values in the other fields because it means that it's a custom product. So that's a big problem that I run into. People getting this wrong, those product identifiers. Next, we move over to the Google product category. And the Google product category is a way for Google to know which category the product that you're selling is in. So no matter what, you have to supply value in a way that is standard to Google. And that's or an ID or actually the exact category name. And for this, Google has a huge list of different categories. So you'll see that there's, for each of them, a number and then a big chunk. So usually you don't have to go through this list and look them up, or maybe you go through it and look it up once, but oftentimes this is automated with different tools. But this is also something that I see a lot of mistakes, where I see a lot of mistakes happen. People getting this product category wrong. That covers like the 2 biggest mistakes. Next is bundle. It means if you're bundling different items, multi-pack. If you're selling more items, adult, If you're selling adult products, gender, age group, size, color, material, pattern, item group ID. These are all important if you're selling product variants. Usually this is fashion or apparel. And if you're selling a product in multiple variations, your item group ID will be the same for all of those different variations. So Google actually knows it's the same core product, but there's different variations depending on size or color or something. Next, we're moving on to the recommended items, tax, delivery, delivery weight, delivery width, delivery label. You can ignore these. For now we're gonna set these values in Google Merchant Center, so you can ignore these. Sales price, if the price that you're selling a product for is different from the price that you have it in your backend, you can set here a different price. Sales price, effective date, if you have a promotion of a product being cheaper for a recommended time scale or something, you can set that here. Additional images, mobile link, product type. This can be an interesting one. This is a value where you can push in your own categories. So you'll see that it makes it easier to organize your campaigns if you use this value. Availability date, that means if a product is not in stock yet, or you can pre-order it, you can set a date there. Size type, size system, this is all recommended. Address redirect, custom labels, we'll look at this in more detail later, but this can be an important one. And these are all basically pretty niche things. You probably won't need to put a lot of effort into it. So what actually will happen is that you will have all of the information from your store backend. It will actually fill up these columns. Okay, moving away from the actual spreadsheet, I wanted to take the time to show you how this can actually look in your store backend. Right now, I'm in Shopify, I'm in the backend. This is for one of my products. Don't worry how we got there. Don't worry how to get this for yourself. In the next lessons, I'll cover everything for your specific e-commerce platform in more detail. I just wanted to show you how that spreadsheet translates into an actual store backend. So you can see here up top, the product identifier. This is an important one. And it select custom product if you don't have a GTIN or MPN. So this is a custom product of mine, like a poster. So this doesn't have a GTIN number. Product category, well, I will have to look up the actual product category and paste this one in. So age, gender. So depending on the product that you sell, you'll have to, or you can supply these products, these extra fields. I won't put anything in. Manufacturer part number, I also don't need. Here, custom label. This is how we can actually enter them.